Imagine a world overwhelmed by a deadly disease long before modern medicine existed. This happened during the plague of Justinian, a terrible disease outbreak that affected the Byzantine Empire in 541-542 AD. Named after Emperor Justinian I, who got sick but survived, this plague stands out as one of the earliest pandemics ever recorded. It wiped out many people, changed communities, and shifted history's direction, setting a grim example for future pandemics. The effects of this plague were so deep and lasting that they not only caused immediate trouble, but also left lasting changes in the government and society of the time. Context before the plague. Before the plague hit, the Byzantine Empire was thriving under Emperor Justinian I. He was known for building big structures like the Hagia Sophia and for trying to bring back the greatness of the old Roman Empire. The empire was growing its territory and seemed very successful. However, it was also a time of many problems. There were big differences between rich and poor people, and constant wars were using up a lot of the empire's money and soldiers. These issues made the empire weaker and more vulnerable to disasters like the plague that was about to come. Origin and spread. The exact start of the plague of Justinian is not clear, but it's thought to have come from Asia, maybe from China or India. The disease reached the Byzantine Empire through ships that were trading across the seas. These ships brought the plague to Constantinople, the capital city, which was a busy place full of people from all over the world. The city's large population and busy ports made it easy for the plague to spread. Rats on the grain ships carried fleas infected with the plague bacteria, Yersinia pestis. Once the plague reached Constantinople, it quickly spread throughout the Mediterranean area because of the empire's trade routes. These routes, which were usually good for the empire's economy, now helped the plague move faster and affect more areas. Symptoms and effects of the plague. When the plague of Justinian struck, it brought severe symptoms. People suffered from high fevers, swollen lymph nodes, and were in a lot of pain. The sickness spread fast and killed many within days of showing symptoms. Entire families and neighborhoods were wiped out, leading to fear and confusion across cities. This plague greatly reduced the population. In some places, half of all people died. The loss of so many people changed communities and left many areas empty and struggling. Response and measures. As the plague ravaged his empire, Emperor Justinian tried to stop it. He ordered the city to be cleaned and gave out food and other help to those in need. Doctors at the time did what they could, but they didn't really understand how the disease spread or how to treat it. People also turned to their faith, praying and holding religious ceremonies to ask for relief from the sickness. Despite these efforts, the plague continued to devastate the empire for years, showing just how challenging it was to control such a deadly disease without modern science and medicine. Economic impact. The plague of Justinian hit the economy hard. With so many people sick or dead, there were fewer workers to farm the land, make goods, or run businesses. This caused a lot of problems. Food became scarce because there weren't enough farmers to grow crops, and this made prices go up. Trade slowed down as people were afraid to travel or trade with places that had the plague. This affected the wealth of the empire and made it harder for the government to get the money it needed through taxes. The lack of resources and financial strain lasted for many years, making it difficult for the empire to recover and continue growing as it had before the plague. Cultural and historical significance. The plague of Justinian changed more than just the population and economy. It also affected culture and society. People began to see life differently. There was more focus on religion and the afterlife, as many were dealing with loss and seeking comfort. Art and literature from the time reflect the fear and sadness people felt. The government also changed, becoming more centralized as local authorities weakened. These changes shaped how people lived during and after the plague, influencing future generations and leaving a lasting mark on history. Legacy of the plague. The legacy of the plague of Justinian is a powerful reminder of how a pandemic can influence an empire. It weakened the Byzantine Empire, making it less able to defend itself against enemies and manage its territories. This plague also set a precedent for how societies respond to massive health crises, showing the importance of preparedness and quick action. Studying this historical event helps us understand the potential impacts of pandemics and the need for global cooperation in health matters. This understanding is crucial for dealing with current and future challenges in public health. Reflections on lessons learned. The plague of Justinian teaches us important lessons about dealing with pandemics. First, it shows the need for quick and organized responses to health crises. Even though people in Justinian's time didn't understand the disease as we would today, their efforts to isolate the sick and maintain public order were crucial. Today, we have advanced science and medicine to help us, but the basics of quarantine and support for the affected remain vital. Second, the plague highlights the importance of global cooperation. Diseases don't respect borders, and the trade routes that spread the plague of Justinian are much like our modern travel and commerce networks. Working together globally to track diseases and share information can help prevent the spread and save lives. Lastly, the economic impact of the plague reminds us that health crises can have long-term consequences for economies. Supporting businesses, maintaining trade where safe, and ensuring people have what they need can help lessen the economic blow and speed up recovery after a pandemic. If you enjoyed this journey into the past, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss more videos. Share your thoughts in the comments. How can we use what we learned from the plague of Justinian today? Let's talk about it and learn together. And don't forget to share this video with others. Sharing knowledge helps us all get ready for future challenges.